Okay, sorry about the tardiness, but been running some pretty good fevers. No, I don't have COVID, but I did have some pretty bad sinus infection. On this shotgun choke, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to measure our barrel before we get a bore ream in there or a chamber ream cutter. But we're going to measure our barrel down here at the business end. We're going to measure for its wall thickness right here on its barrel to see if we can install something that looks more like, no movie magic today, this, which is a screw-in muzzle choke. That is a 12 gauge as compared to this 20 gauge that is more like the 870 that the course curriculum is on. However, we're about to go over that. Okay, so now first thing we're going to do with this thing is, like always, we're going to open the action. Make sure the gun's unloaded. Got to for safe practicing. Every time I look at one of these things, it just never lights up the way they say it does. But they work good as chamber flags. Anyhow, moving forward. Then we're going to take this, which is our Mach 870, and we're going to be putting in this screw-in shotgun choke. So we're going to have to get some measurements to see if we can even do it. So with it up and down roughly, it's easier. We're going to get our first measurement. .7960. .6560. This is a 12. It's not a, or it's a 20, not a 12. However, it's our Mach. But that's how we would get our inside or our outside barrel diameter and our bore diameter, so that we can see if we have enough material here to even cut back, or I guess the concentricity of the material there, to be able to put a screw-in shotgun choke in here. What we would then do, we would go to our barrel specification chart and look at this one will be 20 gauge, since I'm doing a reference on 20 gauge. Obviously his would be 12 gauge, and it would be minimum outside of 0.805 and max inside diameter of 0.746. The 20 gauge right here would be minimum outside diameter would be 700. 0.700, 0.960. That's a go. And the inside, 0.626, 0.670. Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Okay, once we find out that we can keep ourselves inside those parameters, we would again be measuring the outside diameter and the inside diameter right here of the barrel. We then select a tight fitting pilot from our kits, and we would be selecting a tight fitting pilot from the kit, and then pilots are graduated in a 0.0002 inch increments. A pilot that you select should fit snugly in the bore with no wobble. I don't have any here to demonstrate with. I wish I did. But the pilot should fit snugly in the bore with no wobble, but it should still turn free. And the next largest pilot shouldn't fit in it at all. And proper size is important, because if you're one too small, then you're then you can get out of line, out of alignment, and screw the whole piece of work up. Then we're going to be pushing our pilot from the chamber end to the muzzle with the threaded seating end of the pilot facing the muzzle. The pilot will stop when it reaches the existing choke, given that if it has one. Our next step, we then be sliding the barrel seating spacer over the reamer until it stops on the largest diameter of the reamer, carefully screwing the end of the reamer into the pilot through the existing choke. Be sure to keep your seating surfaces of the pilot and reamer clean and free of chips, burrs, and what have you. Then we'd be ready to join our reamer with its drive source, and that source would be something of this kind of tool, only for different materials. So, which is a lathe, but I got a bigger one outside, and I just was trying to make a deal on a combo. I'm off topic. But then, after we've got our work locked down, or barrel, we got our reamer pilot all put together, we're ready to start the reaming operation. We still got to wipe it out with some oil on the reamer as well. And then we have to turn in a clockwise direction, because if we reverse the reamer while turning, we will turn it dull, turn it off. That's what we're gonna do, because we done broke something. Now we're gonna progress with this like a little bit at a time. You know, like it's kind of like a rubbing in NASCAR. You just gotta know how much touch to give them. But it's the same thing. You know your machine. Everybody knows their machine. There's no easier way to explain it, but I mean, we all know our equipment that we're working with and our tools. And once we've got our cuts out of the way, we got to withdraw while still turning, remove any chips, lubricate again, like I said, and do our intervals. And once the reamer stops cutting and rubs on the barrel seat spacer, then we can, while I'm still turning, remove your reamer ring and clean up and get ready for your next step, which is threading it out, turning out the threads on it. So if I were going to do it, then I would be using a tap, and I would carefully tap the end of the muzzle where I'm going to seat my screw-in insert, choke insert, flat to the top, flush to my top, really. But let me see if I can get an example real quick. So this is my example, screw-in insert. What I meant by flush is the outside of our barrel. This will screw right down in top of it, so it just is flush across the top. Rock Island cylinder. Flush. Now every time we tap one of these, we put those in, we're gonna, every time ourselves, before we release it back to the customer, we're gonna visually check its seating and test fire the firearm ourselves, so that we can guarantee our work. In closing, I would like to say that I do apologize again for tardiness of this assignment submission, and I don't get set like this all the time, and I do apologize for being on your time. However, I realized the video could have been a little bit better. All in all, I had to get something out to you. I was just worried about not going to the doctor, because I was worried about them saying, "Oh, you got COVID," and then no, now you're quarantined, and now I can't get out of the hospital bed at all, and now I can't nobody bring my computer, and then having to start the whole class over again. But it led to me getting a little bit sicker, but it did lead to me at least turning something in. Otherwise, they would have quarantined me. They already told me when we called. Anyhow, got it all straightened out now. I do appreciate your service and time, and I do apologize for making you feel as though you might have wasted some of it.